In today's video, I'm going to be describing the GPS feature and how to update it in the Nikon D5300. Okay, so in order to get it updated, you need an SD card. I have an SD card here. So I remove it from the camera, and I have this computer here, and what I do is I'll search for Nikon D5300 GPS file download. And normally the first file that it finds is the file. I'll include a link with the actual file where you can get it. So this is Windows, and it describes the description, etc. And this file is compatible for the D5300. You have to accept the user agreement, so we click on download. And it asks me where I want to save it. I'll save it on my desktop. I click on save. So it's a very small file. It saves on the desktop. I'll just minimize this. So the file is right there. And what I have to do is I have to transfer this file onto the SD card. So I have a SD card reader here. Stick it in. And I would plug it into a USB slot. Now it should hopefully detect the memory stick, and if I click, okay, so it finds the stick as the D drive. We'll select it, and it asks me what I want to do. Right now I just want to open the folder and view the files. So it's going to open it, and the first thing I have to do is I have to create a new folder called Nikon. So I'll just right click and select new. Sorry, but my computer is a bit slow, but I would select new and then select folder. And the name of the folder, we call it Nikon. I normally put it in uppercase. Oops. Nikon. And then we transfer this file, which was on the desktop, we place it into the Nikon folder. Verify if it's in there. And we see that within the Nikon folder, within the SD card, there's the file there. So I'll just remove the SD card. So we eject it to be safe. Oops. Let me eject it while the window's currently open. So we close the window. We'll wait a few seconds, and I'll eject it. And once it's ejected, it says it's safe to remove, so I'll remove it. And I take the card itself, I put it into the camera. And for this, I'm going to use my battery grip. I'll insert it in. Turn on the camera. You go into the menu, and you scroll on the left-hand side. You go to where the settings, the setup icon is, which is the little wrench. And then on the right-hand side, you look for location data. So I go to location data, I select it, and I select GPS options. And I'll say update a GPS data. So I select it. It's going to look on the SD card, and it asks, do I want to replace update the current AGPS data. So right now the yellow selection is no. I put it on yes. I click on OK. It takes a few seconds for it to be updated. And then once it's updated, this camera will somewhat quickly determine the location once you take the pictures and you enable GPS on it. Without this GPS file, it would take forever if it can ever find the GPS satellite locations. So it's recommended to update the file occasionally. I normally update the file every time I take my camera out for a shoot. And the file that's downloaded is approximately 30 days, but the camera itself only updates the 7 days of data onto the camera itself. After 7 days, the data is still on the card. 30 days worth of data is still on the card. You can still update the data again, but after 30 days from when you downloaded the file, you have to re-download an updated file. If you have any questions in regards to this, please leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to answer it. And if you like videos on gadgets as well as on the Nikon D5300 or Nikon D5600, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel where you'll be notified of new videos. Thanks.